Hello and welcome to this mini tutorial where we're going to break down and then build back up the pronunciation of the word hospital in standard British English. So here we've got the script from the Cambridge Online Dictionary, and what we can see first of all with those blue marks is that with the two dots, the two full stops, they're dividing the word into 3 syllables. So hospital. That's the first thing, so 3 syllables, and top left, that blue mark is telling us that the strongest syllable is at the beginning of the word. So we want to stress hospital. So repeat after me, focusing on the stress. Hospital. Fantastic. So breaking it down a little bit more then, that first syllable, hos, we've got the followed by a short o and then a s. So we've got the air gliding out of the mouth. So actually this, in fact, the recording may well pick it up, so I apologise if there's a bit of crackling in the audio, because there's a lot of air coming out of your mouth when you start this word. So hos, it's a very breathy kind of syllable, you're puffing lots of air out. So if you're running or you're climbing a mountain or something, this is the kind of word that would make you feel tired when you're chatting to somebody, because you're going to have to expel all of that air. So hos. Syllable 2 should be nice and straightforward. We've got the p, so a little puff of air is coming out, and then we've got a short I, so it's just p. And that last syllable then, we've got a t. So again, lots of air coming out, lots of puffs of air in this particular word. So we've got the t, a little schwa, and then the dark owl. So the way that we build that together, the t, l, is tull. Tull. So you're kind of swallowing this syllable almost at the end. You should feel a little bit of movement deeper down in the throat as you kind of make that dark ul sound. If you're not sure what I mean, please don't worry, check the links below and I'll put a link to a video where I talk a bit more about the owl sounds in English. So repeat after me, tull. So let's put that back together. So I want you to repeat after me nice and loud, following, remember the stress, and we've got 3 syllables. Hospital. One more time. Hospital. So going back to the way that this word looks when we write it will help us to think about some of the common errors that might occur. Depending on what your native language is, you might find that some of what I'm about to say feels familiar to you. So the first thing that I hear from speakers of many different languages is the lack of a H at the beginning of this word. So instead of saying hospital, you might hear people say hospital, for example. And actually, it's worth noting, you're also going to hear native speakers dropping that H as well. I'm going to hospital. So potentially, this is a thing that you personally might not actually care about that much, depending on what it is you're doing with your English. So for example, if you live in Britain and you know that the people where you live don't pronounce the H in this word, then don't worry about it. If you're trying to blend in and sound like the people around you and you know they don't say the H, then don't bother. However, if you're trying to sound a little bit more formal, or you're using your English in a context where you're meeting people from many different language backgrounds, for example, you might want to go with that version that's a bit closer to the dictionary standard, so you might want to focus on getting your H in there, hospital with a H. The other thing that I think can signal you as a second language user, if that's something that you're thinking about, is the vowel at the end of this word. So remember, when we looked at the script, it was a little schwa. So hospital with that that weak schwa sound. Again, if you're not so sure about this, I'll put a link in the description below where you can look at some stuff focused on the schwa to help you to develop your awareness of this sound. It's a really important sound in English, and I think often people struggle with it. So back to the word we've got here, hospital. We know it's a schwa, but it looks like an A or an A. So people are often tempted to overpronounce this and say something like hospital or even hospital. For example, if we're dropping the H and overpronouncing the A, it might end up like hospital. I think most people would probably understand what you were getting at. However, what you're aiming for, one last time, repeat after me, is hospital. There we go. So if you've got any experience of either mispronouncing this word or hearing other people say it in different ways, leave me a comment below. Let me know your experiences with the word hospital. Don't forget to hit like if you found that useful. Subscribe if you haven't already, and as I said, leave me a comment if you've got anything to share with regards to this word, or indeed if you've had any experiences of hospital and having to do hospital in English. I imagine that's quite a challenging experience, so hey, leave me a comment. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a lovely day.